The top post on the Hole Inspector subreddit today has more upvotes than I've seen for a post on our subreddit before. I'm excited and also a little bit terrified because this title makes me a little nauseous, a little queasy. I don't trust like that. Am I the hole for breaking my #1 sex rule with a handicapped guy? Let me just say, I'm reading the title verbatim. Handicap is a parking spot. The word you're looking for is disabled. LT, can we say sex on YouTube? I just have to tag it differently, but I do think horizontal adult fun time is hilarious. Obviously throwaway, I don't need anyone here seeing my regular account. I'm also in the US and English is my first language. Any discrepancies are because I suck at typing on my phone. I'm 28 female. My childhood best friend we'll call Jess is also 28. To put it simply, I don't think I'm any kind of prude. I just don't really feel comfortable with casual baseball. Never have. My best friend knows this and has teased me about it lightly in the past. She's been in a long-term relationship for the past 3 years. I've mostly been single while working on my degree and starting my career. Jess lives in another state with her boyfriend, so we don't hang out much more. About a month ago, I had a first date with a guy I'd been talking to for a bit, thought it was going places, but he gave a weird vibe on the date and I cut and ran early. On my way home, I stopped by the local pub, figured I'd have a drink to unwind and people watch till it wore off. Tipsy driving is still drunk driving, IMO. I get there and it's pretty packed, Friday night and all, and there was no seating at the bar. I took my drink and looked around, and most of the restaurant side of the pub, there was someone's birthday party. There was a small table with a seat open off to the side with a guy reading a book there. So I say, F it. I'm a social person. What's the worst thing that happens? He says no, so I ask if I can sit there for a bit. I promise we don't have to talk or anything. At this point, I feel like I've messed up because this guy up close is the hottest man I have ever seen. But he just smiled at me and gave an enthusiastic sure. A few minutes later of me sipping in silence, and he says, I don't mind talking if you want to. Yeah, I want to. Are you kidding me right now? We talk for a bit, and it turns out Mike, fake name, is 29, just finished his master's degree in some kind of computer learning field. I program computers to program computers, and he's living on his own for the first time. He apparently stops by the pub after work because he's right around the corner and he's not used to the silence yet after living so long with half a dozen siblings. Okay. Yeah, so we got someone hot. We got someone smart. We got someone kind. Mike sounds like a real catch here. I don't understand what the problem is. We talked for a good 2 hours about everything from dating, which he said he's basically given up on, to hobbies and tastes, and we have a near total eclipse of a Venn diagram on this stuff. I eventually sort of blurted out that I don't know why he'd give up on dating. This is the closest thing I've had to a good date in forever. Shooting my shot obliquely here. He gets kind of an odd look on his face and says, tell you what, I have to go to the bathroom, but when I come back, I'll ask you out for real. Weird, but okay. Then it all clicks because he doesn't get up and walk away. He just rolls in his wheelchair. And I'm thinking, oh my God, he wanted to give me a chance to back out of this without making it awkward. How cute can this guy be? He grinned like crazy when he got back and saw I was still there. And I basically tripped over myself saying something to the effect of, so I'm free all weekend. What do you have in mind? Okay, this is so cute. Okay, hang on. Wait a minute. This is so cute. Stop. I'm reading a rom-com right now. Like literally everything leading up to this, I'm like, this sounds amazing. This sounds incredible. This would make such a cute story later. Why does your friend think you're gross for this? Another hour later, we've got plans for Saturday. He told me he has a neuromuscular disorder I can't remember the name of. My degree isn't in STEM. So his legs work, but the signals from his brain get misinterpreted. So he doesn't have the balance or coordination for walking or standing. Okay. The pub starts switching over to the younger / rowdier crowd, and he asks if he'd like to go back to his place for coffee to continue our conversation. As you have probably long since realized, I did not get any coffee or conversation till the next morning, and I have zero regrets. We've been dating since, and I know it's still early, but I really feel like this might be the one. Onward to yesterday afternoon, my friend Jess, remember Jess, is in town. We go out for coffee to catch up on things. I'm gushing about Mike, but when I get to how we met, she just sort of got weird and edgy. I don't remember any exact words, but she essentially said that I must have a fetish for the handicapped since I broke my #1 rule, and it's the best physical relationship I've ever been in. Like, it's good for me because he uses a wheelchair, not because the guy puts effort in bed. She said, I've changed as a person and left without even saying goodbye. 15 years of friendship, and I've never seen her like that. Your friend sucks. Your friend sucks really bad. So here I am asking the most objective people online if I'm a hole or weird for being super attracted to a guy who uses a wheelchair. Weird for being super attracted to a guy who uses a wheelchair and basically putting out immediately. No, but the people who use wheelchairs, people who are disabled, are still people. It's weird that the friend is hung up on this rule OP has about no happy sheet time. Y'all are 28. Right, grow up, real. OP's profile has some important updates, one of which explains the friend's reaction. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh my, there's so many updates. There's the original update 2 days later, my first ever update. Yay! If you're hoping for some terrible drama, I hate to break to you that don't roll like that, no pun intended. So I do have an update on Jess, and stuff finally makes sense. And I have a slightly not safe for work but funny story about Mike, because this guy is just a bit. So first, I finally messaged Jess yesterday and said, basically, I'm still hurt by what you said, but after 15 years of friendship, I'd never forgive myself if I didn't at least ask why you snapped at me like that. She replied immediately, I'm so effing sorry. I didn't mean any of that. Can we have a do-over on lunch? So I agreed cautiously and took half a day to meet with her today. Turns out that one of those of you who said she was jealous and that she might have something else going on, and especially the person who said something might be going on in her relationship, gold stars. She's in town because she's job hunting, because she's moving back in with her parents for a while since her relationship ended. Apparently they have been having a ton of small problems adding up, but the biggest one, special adult horizontal under the sheet fun time. The guy she's been with has apparently never been great, but it's gotten to the point where he makes no effort at all for her to enjoy herself and then gets mad when she isn't in the mood. She tried talking with him about it, making suggestions, but he told her recently that it's emasculating being given casual sheet baseball advice by a woman. If you have extracurricular adult fun time with women, you should take extracurricular adult fun time advice from women. The route to better sex is talking to your partner about what you want. Right! Yes! Oh my God. Oh my God. It gets racist? No wonder she thought it was fetishization. Oh my God. No wonder she thought it was flim flam and fetishization. The straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back, however, was that her boyfriend has always had a thing for Asian women. She's Caucasian, but she does have long black hair. After weeks of fighting over their casual baseball league life, he suggested that they spice things up by her dressing in a kimono and pretending to be Asian. She lost it on him and is absolutely disgusted by the racist fetishism and ended it right there. So she had all of this bottled up and was hoping to talk to me and finally be able to put it down. And I missed every hint that she had something big to discuss because I was gushing about Mike. So to her, it felt like I was just twisting the knife by bragging about how good Mike and I have casual baseball adult horizontal special fun time together. She snapped, and somewhere between what I was saying and what she wanted to talk about, some wires got crossed and she said something incredibly dumb. She left without saying goodbye because she was mortified and ashamed, as well as irrationally mad at me. Something to know about Jess. She's an awful liar, and she and I were the co-founders of our high school's Foot in Mouth Society, so I do believe her. I told her I forgive her and I'm sorry I didn't realize she wanted to talk about something bothering her. She said I was too stupidly nice and have nothing to apologize for, so I think we'll be okay. For the time being, I'm not ready for her and Mike to meet because I don't want to make things feel worse, and she agrees. But she's really, really happy for me. Hopefully this is just a funny story we can look back on someday. So, on to how Mike almost killed me. Last night we were talking about the Reddit post and he gets this funny expression that I'm starting to recognize, and he goes, "How do we know you don't have a fetish if we haven't at least tried it in the chair?" Michael! And I'm like, are you serious? He said he's never attempted it because, cue tears, he's never felt so comfortable with a partner before. His chair has what is essentially like a parking brake thing, or it should. It's unfortunately broken, and apparently getting them fixed is an expensive PITA. He doesn't use it that often, so he hasn't made it a priority. And there's this thing called Newton's third law. You know how every action has an equal and opposite reaction. As it happens when you're trying to get the motion of the ocean going, in a chair with wheels that aren't locked, there's a sort of counter motion that starts and messes it all up. So we were going nowhere fast except for inching along the floor of his bedroom, laughing at all the silliness, which isn't helping. Eventually he just stops and says, maybe we can get some of those wooden block things they use like little planes from rolling away, like an Indiana Jones. I absolutely lost it, like laughing so hard I'm in tears. He's giggling half at the situation, half at my reaction, and everything just keeps setting me off again. Finally, I get it under control, doing some deep breathing exercises and stuff, and I look at him again, and he pulls the straightest face that he can and says, for the love of God, golly, this sure is uncomfortable. Folks, if I had asthma, I would have effing died right there. I laughed so hard I think I pulled a rib, like wheezing and not even laughing anymore as much as weeping and making this awful he noise when I could catch my breath, while he's laughing and rubbing my back, saying he's sorry he couldn't resist. So yeah, confirmed, no fetish here, and this magnificent bastard's comedic timing might actually kill me. I doubt I'll update again because there's really nothing else. Update again 1 month later, actually. I'm also rooting very hard for these two. Do we want to keep going? Oh my God, there's so there's so much. There's like 16 other updates. To be honest, I suggest saving these to read out for particularly bad holes. Honestly, yeah, let's save the updates. Oh, this one was on the subreddit, but it's also one of the top posts on Am I the Asshole? So we got to do this one. All right, we got it. We got it. Am I the hole for telling my sister her baby isn't a real baby? I, 26 female, got engaged to my fiance on January 1st. I was very excited to share with my family, of course, and everyone congratulated me and my fiance. I sent a picture of my ring to my family group chat as well as my Instagram, and everyone has been commenting on the fact that I got a very big diamond. My diamond is lab grown and it's just under 5 carats. I specifically asked for a lab diamond as I believe they're more ethical, as you never know if a mined diamond is a blood diamond. My sister, 31 female, was very excited for me, but as soon as I showed her my ring, her mood changed, and she was telling me that it was too flashy and that it's not practical and that it's too trendy and not timeless. My ring is a pear-shaped solitaire ring with a marquee band, and I love it. My sister then told me that there was no way that my fiance could afford my ring. True, if it was a mined diamond, it would be 10 times the price, and my fiance is a second-year resident, and that I should test it to see if it's a real diamond. Why are you being... You came out of the gates being so gatekeepy, so defensive, elitist, for no reason. Why? I replied that since it's a lab diamond, it was a lot less expensive. She then proceeded to tell me how lab diamonds aren't real diamonds, and since they're made in a lab, it doesn't hold the same sentimental value. My sister's ring is a small 1 carat mined diamond, and it's beautiful. I never said anything bad about her ring, and it suits her. I tried to laugh it off, and I told her that I asked for a lab diamond, that I don't want a mined diamond. When I said that, she started yelling at me that it wasn't even a real diamond in the first place, and that it was grown in a lab and not the ground. Yes, that's what lab-grown diamonds are. That is what she specifically asked for? What are you talking about? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, I see it! That's when I said, by her logic, my niece wasn't a real baby then, because she was an IVF baby and grown in a lab too. My sister and her husband had a lot of issues conceiving, as my sister had some complications with endometriosis. That's fair. It's less funny now. Never mind. I'm sad again. They're both assholes, but you were kind of asking for it. Their IVF journey was really tough, and they had multiple rounds and attempts and one miscarriage, but finally got lucky and had a very healthy niece last year. I know my sister had a hard time conceiving, and that was the point I was making. My niece started in a lab, but she has beautiful meaning behind her life too. When I made the comment that my niece wasn't a real baby because she was an IVF baby, my sister started crying over the phone. Her husband then called me and berated me and told me I was insensitive and couldn't understand the depths of her emotional turmoil, and I shouldn't have started a fight over a ring. He even said I was ableist. I have endo too. Brother man, your wife started that fight. My mom says it's not a big deal, but I should let my sister cool off. I usually babysit my niece pretty often, but my sister hasn't been answering my calls for a week. My fiance says, although I probably shouldn't have said that, I was justified. I didn't mean it seriously. I know my niece is a real baby and I adore her and spoil her all the time. Am I the whole? Also, to update, as of this morning, my sister has called me asking for a babysitter. I suspected this would be why she would call me, as I have been babysitting for free when no one else in our family or brother-in-law's family will. She apologized that her husband called me and cussed me out, but she didn't apologize for her comments. I apologized for what I said, as it was insensitive, but explained to her that she misunderstood what I meant. And to everyone who is confused, I do not think IVF babies are not real babies, obviously. I was so taken aback that some of you guys read my post and thought that. I said by my sister's own logic, she thinks her baby isn't a real baby because apparently things can't be real if they're grown in a lab to her. The point I was making was my diamond is real, just like her baby is real. I think even like you apologized afterwards, yes, but I think both of them were still assholes in the situation. I don't think OP said it maliciously. I was simply pointing out the flaw in the sister's logic. Oh yeah, absolutely. I can see where she was coming from, 100%. But like, obviously we can come at it from a different and measured, unbiased point of view, being outside of the situation. But like, in the heat of the moment, it's a little harder to rationalize, I think. Like, it's good that she apologized. It doesn't make what she said right. So I'm good with everyone sucks here, if y'all are. What else we got as the top posts on the subreddit today? Oh, this is a level of petty that I love to read about. Please. Am I the whole for leaving a family gathering and taking the cake with me after getting my feelings hurt? I, 27 female, hit 1 year sober from alcohol at the beginning of the year. This was a huge accomplishment for me. It was bigger to me than finishing college. I told my family that the next time we were together for family dinner, I had something to celebrate. This all happened at my mom's. The kids were playing and the adults were hanging out. I took the moment to share that I'd reached 1 year sober and how good I felt about it. They went with, "Oh, that's what you were talking about," and "Has it been a year already?" I'm embarrassed to admit I hoped someone would say that they're proud of me. My brother-in-law Steve looked at my sister and they both said, well, at the same time, since we're all here, niece just got into a specific gymnastics thing. It's been a long road, but we did it. Steve popped some wine they'd brought and started giving everyone glasses and cups. He made eye contact with me and his face fell. I had this gnawing feeling, so got up from the table. I took a walk. I tried to get through the moment mentally so I could be present for my niece to celebrate her success. But when I got back into the house, my sister asked me why I left without saying anything. I said I needed a minute to myself. She looked at me funny and said, okay. I said I'd shared something I was very proud of and she bulldozed over it. My mom put her hand up and asked me what my news was. I said that I'd told them I hit 1 year sober. Mom said my generation always wanted praise for doing the bare minimum. That wasn't an accomplishment, it was just what I needed to do, like graduating high school. Oh my God, dude. Your mom sucks. And I'm so sorry. Overcoming addiction like that, achieving a year's worth of sobriety, is an incredible success, and you should be proud. If your parents aren't proud of you, I'm proud of you for achieving that. You did an excellent job. We're all proud of you for doing that. And your mom sucks. I tried to make it through dinner, but found myself just not in the mood anymore. I decided to go home. Here's the direct thing I am being called a butthead for. I'd brought a small berry chantilly cake. I brought this cake, my favorite, to share after dinner. It was the thing I decided I'd earn. The kids had definitely seen it. On my way out, I decided to take it home with me. I guess when they realized the cake wasn't in the garage fridge anymore, my sister called to ask me why I took it. I said I did because it was my cake to celebrate my accomplishment. She said word for word, "Are you serious? Oh my God, Emma, grow up. You are such a baby." We couldn't have cake after we made fun of you. We want to have our cake. We want to make fun of you and eat your cake. We want cake. Where? My mom later texted me directly to tell me how disappointed she was that I threw a tantrum because my niece got more attention than me. I don't think her read of what happened is right, but that is why I'm asking you guys. Am I the a-hole because I took home the cake in the end? Was that really childish of me, considering the kids saw it and then didn't get any? As I was putting on my shoes to leave, Steve found me and directly apologized and said that he was completely oblivious in the moment. I know he did not do anything to intentionally hurt me. No, you're not the hole. That was your cake that you brought to celebrate an accomplishment of yours, and then literally every single person in that room shut you down, made you feel like you didn't accomplish anything, made you feel like for even wanting acknowledgement for this incredible monumental task that you achieved for yourself, and then got mad at you that you didn't want to share the cake that you brought to celebrate that with. Like, they suck so bad. Edit to follow up. Hi everyone, just wanted to follow up, say thank you to everyone for the responses. I have a lot to think about when I get next go to therapy today actually, and work on. I do want to clear up a few things that I've seen come up in the comments. I am not in AA. I tried AA before and it was not compatible for me. It works for a lot of people very well, and I'm happy for you if it works for you. So stuff about the steps and personal inventory are not relevant to me. It wasn't a party for my niece. It was just a family dinner. The cake was mine and wasn't brought for my niece. I didn't take it because I wanted to get back at them. I took it because it's my favorite cake and I wanted to eat it because it was my thing that I earned. I don't know why they opened wine for my niece getting into the gymnastics program, but I also don't think it's my place to say anyone else has a drinking problem, and I'd prefer to have eyes on my own paper. Interesting. That is mature. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's mature. The top comment is they had wine, which naturally excluded you right after you told them your good news. I'm glad you took the cake. As someone who is in recovery but doesn't follow AA, I really appreciate them calling people out for pressuring them to follow the steps. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Mom giving very you have a problem, I don't energy. Maybe. Yes! 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 Oh! I've been wanting to do that for 20 years! Yes!